Okay, team. So this week we are on chapter 8, which is increasing the likelihood of being empowered. Um, Good stuff to dig into a little bit of what it looks like to be an empowerable person. I love that first verse that it shares where it says, "And Jesus increased with wisdom and stature and favor with God and man." And that's, I believe, one of our big goals, right? As we are living out our lives, is we're trying to increase with favor with God, yes, but also with man around us. So whether it's somebody we're serving or somebody we're not serving, like we want to be able to grow in favor with people. And so these are some different things that we can look at as being, if you're in an empowering environment, I'll put that caveat in there first, like you have empowering leaders over you, you're in an empowering organization, these things can work. These are little tips. And I know it talks about it at the end of the book, or end of this chapter at least, where it talks about like what it looks like if maybe you're not under an empowering leader. And hopefully I'm not that person. So if I am, make sure you tell me. But I want to be an empowering person. So if there's more that we're looking at, like, and you're asking for and looking to get into, like, these are different ways that we as as whether it's employee or serving, volunteering, to be able to get more opportunity. And some of it is literally by asking. I don't know if I can't remember if it says that specifically in here, but by just asking and saying, here's where I would like to go. These are different areas, but a couple of things. One section, it said wisdom to increase your favor with others. Um, there was a couple of key ones in here that I really relate well with, but build trust. So it says trust is the currency of influence. So our favor increases in proportion to how much people trust us. So if people trust you, they typically give you more, right? And they will hand more things over to you and release things to you, um, and that's an empowering part. Then in this other part, it says it is the wise person who embraces the process of building trust in relationships and organization, and that goes for both. And somebody that is volunteering, serving, or under somebody, it's embracing that process of building trust, but also the person above them embracing that process of building trust and knowing that trust can be built. Because sometimes we can go into relationships and just say, like, I'm not going to trust. I'm not going to release trust in this area, and it puts a wall up and it makes it so that you can't go past that. The next thing is be faithful in small things. I believe in this completely tenfold. I mean, it says here, have authority. It talks about the verse where the servants come in and the master is handing off little things, right? Like one talent, two talents, and then when he comes back, like more is given, right? One of the greatest spiritual laws is faithfulness in small things open the door to greater empowerment and greater responsibility. Because that's really what empowerment boils down to, is like you're giving more responsibility to somebody to carry something. This faithfulness is not simply the act of being consistent in responsibility, not just doing the job to get to that end point, but it's more importantly what we think while we're doing it. So, um, are we believing wholeheartedly in what we're doing, or are we just doing it so that we can get more responsibility or get to an end point? I think that's important to really evaluate in our process, like if we're doing, what the reason is, what the heart is behind doing it. So definitely look into that one. I love this one too. Be an asset. So it says solve problems. I love this. John Maxwell puts it this way too, and he would tell his teammates this. He would say, "Don't bring me a problem unless you have two suggestions on how to solve it." So if you go into it's easy to find problems with things, right? It's easy to see that there's issues with different things, like this didn't work, this didn't work. That we shouldn't do that anymore. But don't just come to me with problems, come to me with solutions as well. Like that didn't work, but this might work, or this might be an option for working. It's like it makes it a lot easier to see and empower somebody that's coming to you with solutions to a problem. And you can tell that they are not just a problem person, but they're somebody that's typical, that's really a problem solving person. So that's incredible to put yourself in that position. And it's something that I've tried to get better at because I can definitely be the guy that sees issues with things. And I love to solve problems, but sometimes I can be just a little bit negative and say, well, that's an issue, that's a problem. And I don't, maybe it's a lack of trust that we can fix it, but sometimes it's just a matter of like digging into and like, I'm not going to bring this problem up unless I can actually bring a couple solutions to it as well. So being a team player, it's huge, right? Like, especially in ministry, I feel like we need to be on the same page and be in unity with each other. Um, those are some really key ones that I inside that section, and then empowerment busters. These are a list of things that will absolutely maybe not totally kill your ability to be empowered or to be brought into new responsibility, but it's definitely things to be checking yourself on and looking at. So, like not following through on what you say you will do. That's a big one, right? Gossiping and grumbling. Doing only the minimum. Like, I'm probably not going to empower somebody that's just like coming out and doing just the bare minimum. Like, I'm going to let them just do the bare minimum, and that's all they're going to be good, be able to be empowered to do. Lying, stealing, wasting time, um, yeah, performing for approval mindset, trying too hard to not make mistakes or trying too hard to impress leaders. These are all big empowerment busters and um, definitely things just to keep an eye on. One thing, I'm going to go back really quick. This one stood out to me as well. It just said, be a forward-moving person who is zealous for personal growth. Keep growing even if your leader is not empowering you to the level you want. Don't depend on him or her to move you forward in life. So don't put that power in somebody else's hands to for you to grow, for you to like go to that next level, whether you think it's in ministry and you need to know something different, know how to do something different. Don't wait for other people to like train you or bring you through that right away. I mean, that might happen. And that's our goal with a lot of this, right? Is to try to help with training. But if there's something specific that you think that you need to be better at your job and you feel like it's going to put you in a better position to be empowered, like just go for it. Like take that and run with it. And these are like whether it's leadership and you want to like you're going to dive into something, and sometimes it means doing some of that on personal time. Like you might be diving into something on personal time to really enhance and grow yourself. Always have a growth mindset. Never feel like you've arrived or gotten to a place where you don't need to grow anymore. That's definitely an empowerment buster if you feel like you've gotten to a place where you have it all and you don't need any more. So growth mindset. But cool. Well, anyways, this is a great chapter too, and look forward to hearing some of your comments and diving into it. But thanks. Have a great rest of your week. See ya.